Alright, so what's up, everybody? And today I'm gonna be talking about the Myles Garrett trade. I'm a Rams fan, so try to keep all my bias out of this, but we'll see how that goes. So I just have ESPN pulled up here, and we got Myles Garrett for Jared Verse, 2027 first round draft pick, 28 second, and a 29 third. So the compensation, it's a little high. Well, they're saying, oh, the Browns didn't get enough. I feel like they got more, and not more than Myles Garrett is worth still, but they got more than enough. Jared Verse is worth maybe 2 firsts, if not a first and a high second round pick. That's just his worth as a player. He's constantly delivering. Last year he had, I think, 8 sacks. Excuse me. Okay, last year he had 7.5 sacks. 2024 he had 4.5 sacks. So yeah, I mean, that's the value you're getting for Verse, sack wise. But sacks aren't everything. He had a lot of tackles, solo tackles. He blocked that field goal against the Falcons last year, 3 forced fumbles. So he only had 35 solo tackles last year, but he assisted with a lot of tackles also, because our core last year just swarmed to the ball very well. Verse, Turner, Young, Fisk. When we blitz Cam Curl, Quentin Lake, we're getting constant pressure at least. So that's good. But we just got better with Myles Garrett, Now, if Aaron Donald does come out of retirement, I think we could go 17-0 in all honesty. But even without him, we can go 15-2, I think. Our schedule is very tough. We play like 6 different days throughout the season. And also, it's just a bunch of tough teams back to back to back. So we'll have like I was coughing and stuff, but we'll have large stretches of tough teams, Week 1, we got 49ers in Australia. I don't remember. Alright, let's see. Yeah, week 2 we got the Giants. That'll be a hard game. The Giants are a good team this year. It'll be a little break, I guess, in terms of how hard the schedule is, because we just haven't seen the Giants put it all together yet. But I believe the Giants will be good this year. So we got, first up, 49ers, then the Giants, then the Broncos, then the Eagles, then the Bills. Okay, that schedule is a bunch of tough games in a row. So it's just gonna be tough, especially with our core being kind of older. Not our core, Stafford being kind of older. All that travel is sure to just wear on him. And let's see, our bye week is week 11. After the Bills, we do have a little bit of a, I don't call it a cakewalk because the NFL, no game is a cakewalk, but after the Bills we have Cardinals. That's going to be a easy game, I like to say. I hope so, at least. We have the Raiders. By week 7, Kirk Cousins could be out as a starter. It could be Mendoza. But whoever it is, I don't expect them to really beat us. We're a good team. They're a developing team. They'll be good soon, but not yet. Week 8, we got the Chargers. That's hard, but you know, Justin Herbert, we can beat him. We're gonna see what they're made of in preseason too. Even though it's the preseason, it's not really an indicator of much. But yeah, after the Chargers, the Commanders, that's a very dependent game on a lot of things. Commanders, I don't see them really being 12-win team this season. Maybe like 10 at the max. Cardinals again, easy. And then we have the bye week. So that's really like 10 straight weeks for Myles Garret to get acclimated. And he has a lot of tough competition to go against in this first 5 weeks. So that'll be his real welcome to the NFC West moment. Unless you're on the Cardinals, then it's just not the NFC West. But I'm just kidding. Those first 5 weeks will be his real test as a player. See what he can do in the system, you know. Excuse me. Team will get a good view in training camp. That's when the fans really see it. We got Trent McDuffie, Jalen Watson, Emmanuel Forbes. Don't sleep on Forbes now. I know a lot of y'all are sleeping on Forbes. A lot of people are saying who they're going to attack. Some people are thinking Forbes, but Forbes is not that soft, guys. I don't know how many people are going to sleep on him this year, but hey, put Forbes as our slot. Forbes on the slot. McDuffie. Forbes slot, McDuffie. Not McDuffie on the outside, I guess. Last year on the outside, he was looking a little chopped, but he's gonna be better this year on the outside, so we don't have to worry about that. Sorry, guys. There's a bird outside. I have my window open right now. I'm just looking out there while I'm making this video. But yeah, Forbes is not chopped. He's a good corner. And I think it's about time people start realizing that. And next season, well, this season we have him on the roster, obviously. We didn't pick up his 5th-year option, though, so he's going to be a free agent. We'll have to see what type of value he commands. Next year, Rams were also losing 4 offensive linemen. For the Garrett trade, I think our draft, we did not draft like we were getting Myles Garret, alright? If we knew we were getting Myles Garret, or we knew he would be available, I feel like we could have drafted better to prepare for that future, because not only are we going to be paying Garrett, Watson has a pretty big cap hit, well, compared to the rest of the roster. Trent McDuffie, Matthew Stafford, Myles Garret. Those 3 players are eating up like $100 million next year. Our top priority is going to be extending Puka, I hope. Alright, so we can add Puka to that. And that's going to be a large chunk of our free agency money right there. Just signing Puka. If we can get Puka's extension worked out in season or after the Super Bowl run, before free agency really starts, that'd be great. It's kind of what happened with JSM, Seahawks waited till after the Super Bowl and got his deal worked out. If we can do that same thing, but get him with a little less money, we can maintain a lot of our players, We're losing 4 offensive linemen next year. That's going to be huge for us. So, we only drafted 1 offensive lineman this year, Keegan Trost. He's kind of a swing player. He can play guard, center, some tackle, We drafted him in the 3rd round, so that means you're going to be losing at least 1 person, I'm pretty sure. But that doesn't really give us any indication of who. because he can play anywhere, really. So, yeah. Myles Garret trade. It just, looking back on our draft, I like Ty Simpson a lot more now. So, Max Clare, sure. We're losing 2 tight ends next year. Max Clare. Well, we're losing 2 to free agency. Probably Tyler Higbee's going to retire. If we can get Max Clare, Terrence Ferguson as our 2 tight ends, our 2 main tight ends, that's fine with me. You know, we can maybe get a 4th, 5th round tight end next year. He can be the 3rd option, but yeah. Let's see. Excuse me. We got CJ Daniels now. He's, from the reports I've heard about him, he's looking good in camp. I'm not in California or anywhere like near the Rams facility, so I haven't been able to watch training camp really, and they don't. From what I've last checked, they haven't really been uploading videos of it. But from the reports I'm hearing, he's looking good. He could be the potential 3rd option this year. So when Devontae retires, he can move up to the 2nd option, 5th, 6th, and 6th round. Could probably be Puka number 1, CJ Daniels number 2, and Whittington number 3. Whittington or Montfield number 3. The receiving room is set up to be good, or at least decent next year, because Devontae is, all 4 sound like he's planning to retire with Stafford. If they end up continuing as teammates after this season, too, that is. This is the last year Devontae Adams' contract, and he hasn't signed any extensions. So, if Stafford wins the Super Bowl this year and decides to call it quits, it's going to be him and Devontae gone. That's perfect for Ty Simpson to fill in. And I know Stafford just signed a contract extension, but that really doesn't mean anything. You know, means if he wants to play another year, he can, but he doesn't have to. Absolutely not. So, this could be his last season. Contract really doesn't mean anything here. It just means that we have him if he wants to play again. But, yeah. That's enough about the Rams side for now. Defense is looking good, you know, outside the linebacker core. Yeah, moving to the Browns now. I really like this trade for the Browns. I don't want to say I like it more than I like it for the Rams, just because it's Myles Garret, but I do like it for the Browns for maybe 2 main reasons, right? I already see that. Shadur Sanders or Deshaun Watson, whoever ends up starting for them, is going to be mid, probably. Unless one of them just revives their career or something, they're going to be mid. So the Browns are set up to finish maybe 7, or will they even get 7 wins? I think we get swept by the Raiders. Not Raiders, Ravens and Steelers. And I see them going like 3-14. They have a defensive-minded head coach now. They have a great offense. Ooh. Oh, I just hit my foot on something. Oh. They have a great offense, so that shouldn't hold them back. They're just missing a quarterback, really. Shadur, I don't know if that's the guy or not. No, it's definitely not Dylan Gabriel. Sorry. Ooh, that hurt. Yeah. Definitely not Dylan Gabriel, so if they choose to roll out Shadur Sanders this year, which I think they should, you know, just moving from Deshaun Watson, if Shadur proves he can be a competent starter this year, that'd be like, 25 touchdowns, I mean, with his offensive weapons, he has no reason not to go for 25 touchdowns. Unless he gets injured, that is. But 25 touchdowns, less than 10 picks. That's not crazy. You know, that's serviceable numbers. If he can do that, the Browns might get 7, 8 wins. I don't see them making the playoffs this year by any means, but I'm not going to complain about a 7, 8 win season with the Browns, you know? Yeah. So, like, if Shedeur looks good, the Browns next year, all they got to do, just get the offensive line a little younger, you know, fix up that defense a little bit. Their defense is good, absolutely, but Myles Garret carried so much of it. It's like, are they really good without Myles Garret? They have a lot of pieces that are good, but do they come together well? I guess that's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, Brown side, it's looking good. If Shedeur isn't good, guess what? They can trade up to pick 1 now. They have the capital for that, especially if they finish with a lower draft pick. They have the capital to trade up. You know. Yikes! That was just my chair. They got a 2028 no, they got a 2027 first. Yeah, so they do have a first round pick next year, but if that's gonna be 32, basically a second round pick. If the Jets are willing to trade back like 2 or 3 slots, the Browns have to call about moving up. You know, y'all can go out Arch Manning, Dante Moore. Y'all can go out and trade to get whatever quarterback from this draft you really want. You know, you have the capital to do it, so do it. Again, if Shedeur looks decent, first round, just grab a corner early or something, corner lineman, whatever y'all guys want. Then a safety maybe, end of the first. Really, it's up to whatever happens this season, who they should draft, but yeah, they have the future capital to build not a super team, but a contending team. Although they're like one confident quarterback away from an at least playoff appearance. I was going to say AFC Championship, but they got to see a little bit more out of that defense outside of Myles Garret. Or without Myles Garret, I guess now. Not outside of. But, yeah. We're going to look at... I already saw this, but we're going to look at the grades now. Yeah. I don't agree with these, by the way. Well, I don't agree with the Rams grade. C-. How? And then an A for the Browns. I just don't agree with this. For the Browns, I'd give them an A plus. I'll give them an A plus. You know, they've built a great team, offensively. Defensively, they could use some more pieces, but next year they'll need to worry about the offense, outside quarterback, maybe some offensive line men, because I know they're pretty old across the line. So if y'all can fix that up, I mean, they don't even need offensive linemen really. They can just use the old guys because they're still good at their game. So just like all they really need is a quarterback offensively. You can get some line really too if you're worried about injuries. You can get a safety, a corner, some linebackers, maybe some pass rush help. That's like a 9-10 win team. I can see them competing for a championship if they draft a better quarterback, some safeties, maybe. And they don't really have a tank or quarterback that they would throw out there to tank. You know? They have Gabriel. They can throw him out there to tank, but he's not gonna tank like that. He thinks he's like, I don't know, he thinks he's like Iron Man or something. He's too serious to tank in his head. Especially since he knows he's tanking for his replacement. Yeah. They also got a new guy out of Arkansas with a crazy 40 ton. No, they didn't do the Anthony Richardson thing, draft him super early. They drafted him in the 5th round, which is Taylor Green. They got a good price on Taylor Green, I think. I just don't think he's really a quarterback for the Browns, you know? If you put him in a different system like the Eagles is, maybe, he could be a solid backup. I can see him as a starter for the Eagles, but I couldn't see him starting for the Browns, like, at all. For the Eagles, I could see him starting because Jalen Hurts got injured, but for the Browns, I just don't think he's really going to be their guy. Yeah. For the Rams, I'd give us an A+, you know? We just solidified our Super Bowl this year. We were already going to win it. Why not go all out, you know? And we got Myles Garret at least until 2034. If we can get Puka locked up, draft some young offensive linemen, I'm telling you, we got 4 or 5 years of a Super Bowl window right there. Myles Garret and Trey McDuffie and Puka. You know, Stafford's going to be gone. Maybe get Ty Simpson, yeah. If Ty Simpson looks like, you know, the 13th overall pick, then that's 4 or 5 years of a Super Bowl window that's still wide open with Myles Garret and Trey McDuffie. Myles Garrett's never been to the big game. Trey McDuffie has. Devontae Adams never been to the big game. Still, he looked good in the playoffs. There's no reason to discredit Myles Garret as a playoff choker yet. I haven't seen that narrative going around, but I'm just going to kill it before it even starts. So, yeah. Give the Rams an A+ for sure. That's guaranteeing the Super Bowl win right there. You know, before we had Verse. Verse is good. But he got shut down in the playoffs last year against the Seahawks. You know, the year before against the Eagles and Vikings, he was dominant, but this year in the playoffs, he just wasn't it. And that's because, you know, he was tired. Our depth's gotten better. We have a few EFAs right now. See how many we keep around, but we need more guys that can actually go out there and play. We do have Josiah Stewart, and if I'm Sean McVay or Chris Shula, I'm pushing him to be a dual side edge rusher. You know, he can play left or right. He's great relief. He's solid. And, yeah, he could, honestly, excuse me. Honestly, though, if he can play both sides, that's great. Great for us, you know. He got 3 sacks last year. He was the backup to, I believe, Jared Verse. You know, our system we don't really run that many edge people. We run a 3-4. So, Jared Verse for us was a linebacker. Or he was listed as a linebacker at least. But, yeah. Josiah Stewart really played on the line for the most part. So, yeah. 13 solo tackles, 3 sacks, and 1 forced fumble. I'm taking that as second option between Garrett and Fisk and Young. Whenever one of them needs to go out, we can just throw Josiah Stewart in there for a few plays. You know, yeah. I think we're looking in very good right now. If we lose any games, if we're going to lose by a lot, we didn't lose by a lot last year, and our defense was, like, not bottom tier. it was exactly in the middle of the NFL. You know, Forbes was not a cornerback one, and Witherspoon, he was injured a lot of the season. Um, actually, let's. I know. Okay, he went to the Commanders. Okay, I knew he went somewhere in free agency, but yeah, Witherspoon's not a cornerback one for us. Well, he was our cornerback one, but he really shouldn't have been. He's good, don't get me wrong, but he should be like a two, cornerback two. Kobe Durant was not. He's just not worth a cornerback one, two. He can be a rotational three, sure, but like I just don't like. I just wouldn't want him starting as the one or two for us. But yeah, that'll be the end of this video. See you in the next one. Peace out, y'all.